Hey, how's it going everybody? Z Batango here, and we are back with another Russian Fishing 4 tutorial on low-level content, and I just wanted to go over a couple things today with you guys. Okay, so the first thing we want to go over today is the energy bar, the food bar, your health bar, and your comfort bar. Now, the difference between the four bars is the energy bar represents how much energy your character has. Energy, when it's low, you have trouble reeling in big fish, you can't dig, etc. So you want to ideally keep this up, but at lower levels, you really don't need to concern yourself with this, as you're going to be fishing perch, gibbles, crucians, sleepers, ides, just smaller fish, just to build up your money and your income. You're not going to have the gear to be able to do the bigger carps like grass carps, common carps, etc. So you're just going to mainly focus on the crucian carps and the gibble carps. So to raise your energy, you can either eat food, you can drink tea, or you can come over. I recommend all low level players not buy food, but just come over to the field kitchen and press E. But you only can use this once a day, as you see at the bottom right there, only available once a day. 1 day in game time is 1 hour real life time. So you can use that once an hour, and then once you have the energy, you can dig for your bait if you have the shovel. You do need the shovel to be able to dig, and digging is really important. It maintains your worms. So the other question the other question I had from people is, how do you level harvesting baits? So you want to buy threaded loaf. I'm just going to buy one for the example. I recommend you buy this to start so you can get a bunch of harvesting bait points. And the reason you want a bunch of harvesting bait points is so you can get to pearl barley. Pearl barley is really important low levels. This is going to be one of your main baits. So once you unlock this at 15%, you can do that by digging, but you're not going to have a shovel starting off. So the cheaper route to do is just buy your threaded loaf, okay? And then you want to press N by default to open up your crafting menu. And then you just see here, wet bread. Click on wet bread, click on bread, click here, and then hit make. And what this will do is it has a chance to give you percentage towards harvesting baits. Now mine's really high, so I'm not going to get percent for making bread, but at your level, when you're just starting out, making the threaded loaf is probably the preferred method to power a level and get percentage, so you can get up to 15% to start making pearl barley. Now you also buy pearl barley at this shop here. Just scroll down a little bit, it says pearl barley, click on this. I recommend you buy 20, that way you have enough to use and not have to keep coming back and buying more. You can buy the 50 stack if you want, if you really just want to focus mainly on the small fish, which I recommend that you do. It's a really good strategy. Hey, if you guys are finding this video helpful in any way, just please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, you can catch us live on our Twitch stream. I'll leave the link to that in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so that covers energy. So essentially, when you get higher level, you're going to want to keep this up so you can dig constantly to earn harvesting points and have a chance to dig up bait. Bait's really good. Free bait's always good. Now your food level, if this is low, your energy is going to not regen as fast as if this were higher. You can eat the threaded loaf, but I suggest you use it to level your harvesting baits. So food is essentially what keeps your energy bar full. So if this was full, I would be gaining energy right now. I'm gaining some back very, very slowly. And the lower your food is, your comfort will go down. And if your comfort's all the way down, you're not going to gain you're not going to gain the energy at all. To raise your comfort level, you need to drink like hot drinks or use the food bar, increase your food all the way up. Now, the health bar, the little heart, when you drink alcohol, it lowers this bar. Do not use alcohol. Now, the reason I say don't use alcohol is because the only way to really raise alcohol back up is to buy this pill, and it is 223 silver. That is a lot. You could literally buy all your starter setups, all of them. So I recommend you not use alcohol until later on. You shouldn't even be buying it. You should be saving your silver. And let's get to the gear. This is why you want to be saving your silver up. the ideal setup for low levels is this setup here. So you're going to get your spark, that's 9 silver. You're going to get your line, I think this runs, I want to say like 12 silver. You want to get a bell that's like 24 silver. You want to get a sinker, I'm not sure how much that is, a couple silver probably. You can't use a leader until later on once you level up bottom fishing. You're going to want to get the Siberia hooks, that's the red hook, starter hook. You can either get size like 10 to 16. I recommend you get like 12 or 14. It's a good all-around size hook for the fish that you should be fishing at lower levels. And you should either be using worm, the pearl barley I recommended, and the wet bread on your 3 rods. Those are the only 3 baits you should be worried about. Mainly the pearl barley. And the rod you want to get is the Express Fishing Sorrento FD130. I'm not sure how much this rod costs, but it's very cost efficient for the rod that is. It's a 5 kilo rod. I still use this rod when I do small fish. And this is the rod I recommend to everybody to start the game off, because you're going to be doing a lot of bottom feeding. And you're going to want to focus mainly on just saving up enough money to be able to do, you know, Cory. Cory is probably the best money making method in the game until you have at least 3 bestias and 3 carp rods, or 3 targeras and the 3 carp rods. And that the reason is because bear, once you have that gear, you will be able to do bear fast enough to where you can make 400 or 500 silver an hour just using potato and decent ground bait. But you don't have to worry about that until way later. I'm level 35 and I can't even do that yet. I do not have that gear. I only have 18,000 silver, and I still can't afford the 3 targeras and the carp rods. I do have the carp rods, but I do not have the reels for the carp rods. These are pretty expensive, and the targeras go for I think 14,900 silver about. So you're not going to worry about that for a long time. So just focus on getting your 15.5 kilo spinning rod for Cory. Now, when you go into the different gears, make sure you always check. This one says CST, that means casting rod. That means you have to use a bait casting reel with that rod. Make sure you buy the right spinning rod. You're just going to want the one that says spinning rod. It says right here, type. Now, let me show you one thing real quick on the gear. On gear, if you look here, it says load capacity is 5 kilos, and my line is 4.8. You always, no matter what, want to use a smaller kilo line than the rod can handle. If you use a 5.5 line on this rod, you can break the rod and then lose your rod. You cannot repair the rod. You can repair reels if you break them, but I highly suggest not doing that. So this is a safe setup. This is the ideal setup for a low level player. So you can do crucians, gibble carps, sleepers, and etc. Just the small fish, eyed, whatnot, mosquito. And once you haven't accumulated enough money, from there I suggest you get either 2 palmers, or you can just skip all that and just do the grind that I recommend to everybody, and that's just use the Sorrento FD130s until you have enough money for your 1 spinning setup. That's Proton Pro. Let me show you that reel real quick. This is a Proton Pro. It's a 9.5 kilo. You can find the setup for this in another video. So this is essentially what you want to use at Cory to start out, and you want to just drive the boat around trolling with 1 rod and use spinners to start off if you want. You can level your spinning at another lake with the spinners. I recommend Winding Rivulet if you need a level. Use the Dragonfly. This one's a pretty good lure for that. Now, once you unlock spoons, then you can efficiently troll at Cory and start making decent amount of money. Not too good, but decent amount of money with your 1 rod setup. And then from there, you just keep farming until you have another spinning rod. And once you have 3 spinning rods, then you start making the real money. Anywhere from 350, it's about 350 silver average. And that's your goal. That way you can save up for your Nargas. The Nargas are real. I think I have it equipped on my rod. Yeah, the Beluga Narga. This reel is 13 or 2300 silver, I believe. So it's a pretty good cheap reel. The only problem with this reel is you can't buy it until you unlock Ladoga. Ladoga's a higher level lake. So you'll be trolling Corey for quite a while. But by the time you do get to Ladoga, you'll be able to buy, hopefully you'll be able to buy 2 of these reels. Now, always buy the reels before the rods. There's no point to have the rods if you don't have the reels to put on them. Always keep that in mind. Okay, that concludes today's video. I hope you guys all found this really helpful. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, catch us in our live stream on Twitch. I will leave that link in the description below. You guys have a great week, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.